Hello, am I live? Am I live? I want to make sure I'm live. I want to make sure y'all can hear me. It says I'm live. Let me just check on my phone. I think I'm live. Am I clipping? I think I upped my volume. I hope it was a bit better. All right, so now I'm live now. Sounds like it's good. Sounds like we're good. We're back, boys and girls, non-binary people, whoever else is watching. We're gonna continue. I got a new light. I think I might get another one just so I can like be more visible. It is a little bright, so hopefully I can maybe put it up top. I don't know how I'm gonna hang it up, but for now, hold on. Actually, maybe I should get a second light here. What about my viewership? My viewership is already at 1. That's good. That's good. That's good. Let me just get the. I want to know what this. Oh, I need to hold on. I'll be back. Just because I like some symmetry. Oh. All right. Now this looks way better. My skin is glowing, most because of the light, not because it like naturally glows. But that satisfies me. So now we can play some games. It's been a while. It's been a long while. Well, it's only been 24 hours, but that's a long while because I'm sure you all very much missed me. You were all wondering, when is May gonna go back online? I miss him so much. He was my sole thing to do at 9 p.m. on a Tuesday night, on a weekday night. But not to worry, I am here and I'm here to entertain you. So I think let's start. So honestly, I kind of want to do a Prince of Persia segment because there's been like a lot of news, and I kind of want to. There's been a lot of news, and I kind of want to cover some of it. There's been some new leaks that came out recently. The Prince of Persia voice actress, the woman who is supposed to voice Farah, has spoken. She didn't have some kind words about the cancellation. Also said she also found out on the internet, not through her, team where you would normally find out about leagues. And God, isn't that so weird that you found out like your job's gone from the internet? What a strange world we live in. Ugh. Anyway, let's actually go and see. Let's go and actually see where she was, or else all Prince of Persia news. Actually, I think Reddit the best spot for it. Prince of Persia. Oh, okay, so we can react to this. I actually want to start with We can start with some of the leaks actually. So this is the leak about the presentation. So I saw this on Twitter earlier. Hold on, let me just see. Hello, new viewer. We're just kind of gonna go. We're just gonna go over some Prince of Persia leaks that have come out recently. and some of them don't look good. Some of them don't look good. Yes, this is the one I found out. So this one, we'll just go over. Let's see what's up. Oh my god, my arm. All right. First complaint about this leak. Like when you're making a remake, you should kind of like include the main melody, like the main the song structures, kind of like the familiarity. Like if it has new music, it already feels like, like a new game, right? You want to make me feel familiar. I don't really like that this song or it doesn't use any of the melodies from the original Signs of Time, so that's what is pretty disappointing. But anything could change. All right, by the way, I gotta say, they killed it with the concept art and like the original tower because this looks exquisite. Like, hands down, this looks beautiful. Like, I know Assassin's Creed already looks good, but like, when you make a linear game, you can even make it better, like even better, more beautiful looking, way more like high esteem textures, all those things, all every single pore out of the face. You can really go hard when it's a linear game because you don't need to render a whole freaking world. But that's why Assassin's Creed has always never looked as good as it can because it's an open world game. But this already looks beautiful. Like genuinely, this castle looks great. Like the one thing Ubisoft has at going for it that they still do well somehow is that they generally know how to make beautiful games. That's the only positive out of Ubisoft and the Montpellier studio. They actually know how to make good games, not just beautiful games. Okay, this looks familiar. Oh, okay. Oh, wait, hold on. This looks familiar. Oh, okay. This is the part of the game. I think I'll maybe if I do a video, I'll pull it up. This is the part of the game where you're on where you have where it's after I think you're in the cafeteria or like where the soldiers are eating, and then you have to raise a tower all the way up, and then Farah helps out too by her pulling down a lever, and then the prince's shirt will eventually come off in this scene of the game. Also, this window will inevitably like open up, and he'll go outside and kind of climb the tower a bit, and then proceed to raise the inner tower higher up. I remember this section. This, if I had to say, is either the zoo or is this looks a little different actually. This kind of looks new. This looks new to me. This rock texture looks very new. I don't think we played it. I don't think that was this was in the game. At least this area. It's either the first section after rescuing Farah and starting your main mission with her, or it's the zoo. Ah, okay. Yeah, you guys know how I said that the previous section was the section after you save Farah and you journey along with her. I was wrong. This is what that actual section looks like. Actually, right over here, you can actually see this. If going inside here will be where you unlock the dad boss fight. This is like probably like 20% in the game, and then you exit out here with Farah, and then you'll proceed to go out. By the way, all this conjecture can completely change. This is obviously a remake. It's not going to be one to one exactly how it was in the original. But I'm just postulating here. Okay. Oh, okay. Nice. Looks like there's a day and night cycle. Okay. Okay. This section. This is in the opening of the Castle of Azad, where you open up the sands and you have your boss fight with your dad. I remember this section. Even has a long carpet. I remember this completely. This can look like anything. Oh, that was really quick there. All right, that looked like anything. This section, I think the textures are kind of missing. It's all like beige. I think some of them are missing, but yeah, I just climbed the tower. If you guys noticed how you know this is a remake and not the original, was it is rounded. Like this is not how the original was. The original was all flat and all like perpendicular. They actually didn't really interact with a lot of rounded objects or anything circular because I think they initially like designed it like a 2D game. So that's why like wall running, you always went straight. You can really navigate up and down. And when you jumped, you always went perpendicular to your jump. You actually never went sideways or anything. That would make the platforming a lot harder. Ooh, this. Okay, this looks completely brand new. This looks actually looks completely like this rock texture wasn't in the game. This looks something out of like Prince of Persia 2008. This looks really cool. This is actually really cool. So, yeah, I would have loved to play this. Again, this is new as well. This was not in the original game, I think. Maybe this little water this is a water wall. This looks something out of like Prince of Persia 2000 and Warrior Within, or this looks something out of the tower. I don't know. It looks pretty new. I think that's that same tomorrow. Ooh, okay. This. So there were sections of the game where you kind of went underground and there was like another tower where you were climbing on. I think the prince mentions that like it's he says this castle is built on the ruins of an even more ancient castle. Maybe you can have the video where he says that. But this might be that ancient castle he was talking about where you go underground and see it, because I remember there was a section where like there was this long bridge and you got to cross it, and but there were kind of rocks around. It looked really decrepit. This must be it. This looks completely new, at least like not familiar to me. It might be the elevator to the Tower of Dawn, but yeah, it looks really nice. More Tower of Dawn stuff. Okay, this I am super glad is found out in the leak, because I was hoping that he'd be shirtless by the end of it. And what do you know? He's shirtless by the end of it. I'm really glad they actually went with it. So it starts off with him looking with all his princely clothing. I still don't like the main outfit. I think there needs more like, like jewelry on him. Makes it look more like he looks kind of like a nobleman and not a prince. I just expect more pizzazz, more bling, more drip on him. And these shoulder pads are kind of lame. I like how it kind of get rips apart here in this one. And yeah, by the end of it, it looks good. I remember, so if you guys ever played Batman Arkham Asylum, how like the armor will like get worn out and torn apart by the end of it. This is the game that started it, by the way. This is the first game that actually did it, at least on like the 3D AAA side. This just looks random enemy. Okay, we've seen this section quite a few times. Yeah, I'm still not a fan of the main outfit. I know, like this game's not coming out anymore, sadly, but I just needed more drip. I do like the armor pieces. I just feel like this chest section needed more, jewelry. Let me see what the original looked like, as I am super curious. Yeah, he had okay. So honestly, maybe I'm just kind of like remember. Yeah, he had like a chest plate on him with a belt, and okay, still he needs more. This looks too boring. I want the chest plate. I want the belt. I know making a belt across your chest is kind of impractical, but I don't know where the original was. Also, he had a turban on. Like that was sick. Get that back on his head, right? But yeah. Anyway, let me see what this is going about. Prince of Persia: Sands of Time is a linear narrative action-adventure game, a poetic odyssey about two heroes running the end of the world in a 1,000 Nights inspired castle. A young prince is tricked by the persuasive vizier to unleash the sands of time. Now he must parkour across a crumbling palace with deadly traps and intricate puzzles, and battle sand creatures before everything he cherished is gone forever. The prince is not alone. He quickly finds an ally in the desolation, the mysterious Princess Farah. With her help and that of a mystical relic, the Dagger of Time, a dagger that can stop, slow, and rewind time, his adventure truly begins. The remake is a tribute to Prince of Persia: Sands of Time 2003 that captures the timeless spirit of the original game while delivering a modern enhanced experience, gameplay, narration, and visuals. Relive the thrill of this castle adventure rebuilt from the ground up for the PS5, Xbox Series, and PC. All right. Remake positioning. Respect, sanctify, main plot, positive tone, gravity-defying acrobatics, time powers, iconic elements, example wall run, modernize, enhanced level design rebuilt from the ground up, combat system and enemies revamped, puzzles revisited, more effective time powers. Farah is a true ally, narrative, writing, and graphics. Add air control. Okay, this sounds really cool. I guess the ability to like manipulate you where you are in the air. That sounds kind of cool. New acrobatics and cooperative moves. All right, so maybe you can do things with Farah. That would be kind of cool. I remember in the previous league there was some maneuvers you had to do with Farah. It was pretty simple, like like letting her climb things, kind of like God of War Atreus. Those interactions. New puzzle elements and added physics. Okay, 2 new locations, music score, and accessibility features. All right, I don't like the music score thing. I think they should kind of keep the music, make sure that some of the melodies are the same. I do like that they're adding new locations. That's good. I do like air control because that's also a nice positive change. All right, let's see. Azad, a mystical castle, dreamlike castle, a mystical dreamlike castle that otherworldly in design and scale. Azad teases a grand mythology. The Sultan's collections gather the land's greatest art, architecture, and mechanical marvels. It is a luxurious, grandiose place that was built to take your breath away. But when the sands of time are unleashed, Azad becomes a dangerous castle. The contrast of the old beauty and the new daunting menace of traps, sand, and destructive cataclysm overwhelming the entire world of Azad. In this new game, the time powers make a return. Rewind, slow down time, stop time, and even the mighty power of unleashing time. Freezing your enemies while delivering rapid strikes. Use these powers to your advantage on your journey. Slow down time and stop time. You couldn't really stop time. It was kind of like you stop time for the enemy, but not for yourself. Moreover, embrace the iconic puzzles elements from the franchise. Play with time powers, physics, and new elements to broaden the possibilities in puzzles. Some puzzles together as a duo. Coordinate with various unique ways for interacting with the environment using her bow. Okay. Platforming essential to the game's experience, and your ability to move with grace and fluidity will be crucial for success in these complex, perilous environments. High fidelity and character control, allowing you to keep control while in the air. Okay, that's good. I think maybe when you jump, you can like control where you maneuver. Alright, that's fine. Use your diverse range of moves, be agile to evade traps and collapsing enemies. Stick together with Farah to help each other in progressing through the levels, thanks to her own moving skills and cooperative acrobatic skills. Parkour, a world rebuilt from the ground up, expanded with 2 new locations. Okay, I think that's the end of this article. Okay. This is basically for people who like don't this is basically for people who like really didn't play the original, sounds like it. Cause I someone who did play the original, maybe they wouldn't know like what they have to do and what they have to change, but yeah. Um all right, that looks like is there any new information? New leak of Prince Bertrand's time, no dagger of time. Okay, we already talked about this in my old video. All right. Yeah. All right. Oh, okay. Looks like there's no other Prince of Persia stuff going on, but there is that YouTube video where the Farah actor, which we know it's the Farah actor because the actress was in the leak, so we kind of know it was her based on like oh, based on her being in the leak. So she's definitely it. Um, Farah actress. Where is she? I think her name was Iman. Farah. I think it's not gonna be it. It was on Twitter. Hold on, it was on Reddit here. Let me go find it. She may have taken the video down, but we know it was her. Oh, there you go. Okay.
In my be honest on this channel.
I like how this might become her most viewed video because all the Prince of Persia fans are like, yeah, everyone's just mad at Ubisoft. Yeah, it's already her most viewed video. Damn, that really sucks. She could have made a whole career out of this game, but sadly, she did not. Just because Ubisoft just don't want, they were just going downhill at this point.
Even when it sucks. So, hi, my name is Iman. I'm an actor, and last week I experienced the most devastating moment of my career. I'm still under an NDA, so I'm going to try my best to speak as vaguely as possible about the details, and I hope you understand. So, 3 years ago, I booked a life-changing role on a life-changing project. It was a rigorous audition process, including a self-tape audition, a in-person callback, and then a chemistry read that I had to fly out of the city for. When I got the role, I remember...
Also, before I speak, you guys know there was another Farah actress who is also, her remake was also canceled because she was not in the one in the 2020 edition. Right, let's just bring that up quickly. Right? Because we know she's a different actor because they showed her and Yuri acting. That was the 2021, the one that got canceled. Hold on. I should gameplay overview. So now there were 2 Indian actors who voiced Farah, and neither of them games are coming out.
My name is.
That's the crazy part.
Is Yuri the same voice which was back then? You know, it just put goosebumps on our hands also when we heard him because it's something which brings back to us to that nostalgic feeling.
I 100% also agree because, I don't want to see this new prince with a new voice. I kind of want Yuri in the game. I already made a video about it, by the way. You should probably watch. I think it's really important that, if the main guy can still voice it, he should voice it. I know representation is important, but, it's a remake. I kind of want to, have the original voice actor in it. Just saying.
How did
some people say
I don't think, I can't really get her a look on this face, but I don't think this actor is the same as her. I don't think they're the same person.
Is like a river that flows swift and sure in one direction.
Oh my god, he sounds so good. He sounds so, and now neither of the Prince of Persia remake versions are coming out. If there's one that comes out gets leaked, I want it to be this one. I don't care about the new one actually. I kind of want the old. I just want to hear Yuri. That's all I really care about.
17 years later, but the main
gameplay, the game itself is fine. I just want more to hear the prince, because honestly, he doesn't even sound like he does in Sands of Time in Two Thrones or in Forgotten Sands. I don't know why he didn't sound that way. Maybe the voice director just didn't know how he's supposed to sound, and Yuri was kind of forgot how he sounded. But yeah, not to say that he kind of missed the ball on that one, but yeah, Yuri did kind of miss the ball on Two Thrones because he didn't sound like he did in Sands of Time.
good thing is his voice hasn't changed at all.
Oh yeah, he was working. Yeah, he was also trying to work with the Warrior Within version, so maybe he was trying to mix the two in a kind of. But that's just dumb. Honestly, he just sounded like Sands of Time all the way through. Even in Forgotten Sands, he doesn't really sound like the one he does. I don't know. Maybe he aged. Aging does change your voice a bit, but yeah. But this version, he's sounding exactly how he used to.
I don't know how he do it, but it's the same.
Let me see. Where is Farah?
Capture to bring realism and to bring.
I don't think that's the actor. I think it's actually another Farah. Yeah, it's another Farah actor that's voicing Farah. So now there are 2 South Asian women who could have had the career of a lifetime, and neither of them are getting the game finished. That's crazy. That's crazy.
crying my eyes out. And I've dedicated the last 3 years of my life to this project and spent those years getting to know the team, which
Yeah, she sounds a little different. It's definitely not her. She's definitely a new person, a new Farah.
has become like a family to me. I've watched it grow through countless stages of development, and I've waited and waited for the day that it was finally going to be released and I could finally talk about it. And this week I found out through the internet that the project has been canceled. What happened was my brother reached out to me on WhatsApp and sent a text asking if I was okay, and I was like, yeah, I'm okay.
Imagine finding out your job has been canceled on the internet. Like that's crazy. Actually crazy. Now, like, I don't know what it's like to be like an actor because like once you do it in your last scenes, like yeah, see you later. You know, maybe, and like I think she did get paid, but man, it's insane because like she has to do some marketing, she has to do some like like some press tours, and now it's like yeah, we're not doing any of that stuff. So bye bye. Dude, that's insane. Imagine what that does to your mental health. Like, literally spending years doing one project and then only to find out it's not happening. That's insane. Crazy. Like, and the fact that it's like she should be able to say, I was fair in Prince of Persia Sands and that got canceled. Like, she should 100% be allowed to, like, say that on a resume because like in game development you can like you have to just say it was an unannounced project, so which like and then you say what you kind of did. I'm not sure if you even like, let's say like you drew a character for a game or you designed a character, can you even like show that to like your next boss, like, oh yeah, I did this, like we didn't release it because you know how how fickle game development is, but I did do that in the game, and technically you're not supposed to see it, but I gotta show you some experience. That's crazy, actually insane.
Okay, why wouldn't it be okay? And he sends me a link to an article. And that's where I read that it has been shelved forever. I was just in total shock. Just last month or 2 months ago, I had filmed marketing for this project. Everything had been running smoothly, and that was the last that I had heard. And we were all really looking forward to it being released this year. So it felt like an emotional whiplash to suddenly.
She filmed market. She basically did her entire job and then was canceled. Dude, that's insane. Insane. What a waste of time, honestly. Like, oh, like how much was there left to do or less to get this game to the finish line? It's just like, why would you cancel at this stage of development? Like maybe the game legitimately like all like the story was like finished and all the cutscenes were all like recorded, but like just it didn't work. Like maybe like the voice act, maybe like the visuals are not up to stuff, or the combat was kind of finicky, or like the platforming sections felt off. Because generally that's something like she wouldn't know about. But like how far must it have not gone not gone long? Like ugh, it's insane.
Find this out in such a random way. When I initially booked this role, what it said to me was that all the sacrifices that I had made, going against my parents' advice and pursuing my dreams, all the heartbreaks I had along the way, all the close calls, all the rejections, they finally had added up to something. It felt like an affirmation that yes, I have talent. Yes, the industry can make space for me and see me as the full person that I am and not just a stereotype. I said no to other opportunities during this process. I broke my foot and continued to come to work and act because it just meant so much to me.
They, did they have her do some platforming sections and then she like accidentally broke her foot? Oh my god. That was really suck, like she broke her foot and still continued to do it. Damn, that's dedication. Yeah, she had her wall run too. Farrah actually doesn't really wall run much. I think she only jumps. Maybe she was moving through those cracks that like that she might have to do in the game. Oh my god.
Pushed myself past old limits and discovered things I didn't even know existed inside of me through the lives that I lived in this character. It was something that's completely out of the range of any character that I've been cast in the past, and I got to do things I've never gotten to do before, and it brought out what I honestly believe is the best performance of my career, and now nobody is ever going to see that. I can't stress enough how much I had kind of planned my life around the release of this project. I had even reached out to entertainment lawyers to obtain an O1 visa and try to work in the States once this project came out, and I had an...
Ooh, that's really rough. She really wanted this to be her big break, and sadly it's not. It's not even gonna come out. She can't even like show this like act. Maybe she can show some of the leaks that she was in it, but she can't even show it on her resume. Oh man, that's rough. Also, was she Canadian? I think she's Canadian. I think she mentioned. Like I watched this earlier, and I do believe she's Canadian. So you probably don't want to go to the States right now. Just saying. I know it's like where the industry is, but man. Canada's got to get up on their ass and literally start like making it on Hollywood. Europe. Okay, a little off topic. Europe, can you please become the center of the world again? Center of the entertainment world. All right. America, honestly, at this point, I had enough of it. I've had enough of their shit. All right. Like I'm an American citizen too. I don't live there for like just honestly, the reason I don't live there is because I'm comfortable in Canada. That's why. Like I would live there, but like all this shit that's going down right now, I'm like, no way. I have a friend right now trying to convince me to come because like, dude, you're an American citizen, you got a computer science degree, just come work here. First of all, computer science degree is not it's not that popular right now. I do have experience, but other than that, second of all, have you seen what ICE is doing? Are you crazy? I'm like, dude, I am not going to fucking America. But anyway, Europe, please become the center of the world. I know like empire building is kind of, dunzo and you can't really be center of the world again, but please be the cultural center. Have your own Hollywood. Have your own music industry. Like I know black people basically run American music, but you're bringing in a lot of black people of your own. They'll eventually be discriminated against and form their own version of what hip hop is or whatever. It'll happen eventually. Just give it time. Give it time. You're already kind of treating them poorly. They'll eventually make some kind of new music. But please, Europe, for the love of God, become the cultural center of the world. America, it's over. It's over. Like I'm just saying, America can no longer be the cultural center of the world. You guys speak English, all right? I know you have some funny accents, but you can do it. I believe in you, Europe. Please. Please, Europe. Anyway, that's a dumb tangent.
Enough publicity from all that. But because the project has been canceled and I can't publicly attach my name to it, that is no longer an option. The worst part is that
fun fact, the voice actor of Bayek got like a lot more publicity from voicing by I think Abu Bakr Salemi. He got more notoriety and more more famous because of the amazing performance that was Bayek. And then was able to open up his own game studio, was in Game of Thrones, got a few roles too. He had a pretty successful career, probably because of that Assassin's Creed Origins. Now, also helped that Assassin's Creed Origins itself was a very good game, and it's a really good Ubisoft game. In fact, I would say honestly one of their best games since Prince of Persia: Lost Crown. Which I wasn't saying that. It's saying anything long because it's like 7 fucking years. Like, oh my god, Ubisoft, stop making goddamn open world games. But anyway, this game could have helped her in her career. And dude, she's like brown. Like, do you know like Indian, like South Asian? Like, do you know like when's the next time like a role like that's gonna happen to her? Fucking never. She has to wait for maybe like what the next Aladdin, which some Arab people might be like, yo, why is an Indian woman playing an Arab woman? This is fucking catastrophe. So yeah, damn.
you can't really openly grieve about it either. Like it's just as if it never existed, which is a hard thing to kind of wrap your head around when it's been your life for so long. As a Canadian Pakistani woman, this is especially heartbreaking when the roles that are available to me are already so scarce. Some people in an effort to cheer me up will want to say, you're so talented, just wait until the next big thing comes around. And what they don't realize is how diminishing that can feel when it feels like I'm so unplaceable in casting. Being South Asian and being a Muslim are not very popular things in media right now. I happen to be both, and kind of feels like being near the bottom of the diversity food chain at the moment. The only known Pakistani actress that I can name in Western media is Iman Vellani, who plays Kamala Khan in Ms. Marvel. That's after thinking really hard. But it's just not a common thing that you see in the entertainment industry right now. And on top of that, when I am put out for certain specialized South Asian roles, it feels like facing another battle because while I am Pakistani on both sides, I have light skin, which I think it hasn't really become accepted in the media.
She has to play the stereotypes, basically. Yeah, probably every Indian person. Sorry, Indians in chat gonna be mad that I called her Indian or South Asian. It's just probably someone's gonna be in chat. Sorry, but like they're all like the same, not the same, obviously, but like they're all kind of look similar. Like she could be Indian, to me. But I think it's like Pakistan, Indian, and I think they're only different countries because of the Hindu-Muslim divide. Yeah, okay, by the British. Okay. Got it. I'm learning some history.
Media as much that South Asians come in so many different colors. I feel like they just want you to know, like right off the bat without guessing, like, oh yeah, like that guy's definitely Indian, that person's definitely Pakistani, because like look at them. I feel like people don't know where to place me, and it's kind of a double-edged sword because
honestly, she could be fucking Egyptian. She could be Arabic, honestly. Like she's that light skin, so she could be Arabic.
I'm not light enough to look white, but I'm also kind of just ethnically ambiguous, I guess, which doesn't really do me any favors. So, and I'm not saying this is the only reason that I haven't achieved all my goals after just 10 years in the industry, but it is true that I have to work twice as hard as non-marginalized actors just to find space for myself in the industry. So when you have put so much work into just getting a seat at that table, and then it's kind of pulled out from under you. It really sucks. It's an upward battle, and it's going to continue to be that way. And you thought you had your foot like in a ledge finally, and suddenly it's crumbled, and you have to start again. And it's just as steep as it was before. So, yeah. I think when projects like this get canceled, it's pretty easy for audiences to just assume that it was probably bad anyway, but I can say that very often, and especially in this situation, that's simply just not the case. Sadly, the entertainment industry is not really just about entertainment, it's about guaranteeing a cash flow. And that means making decisions.
Which is so sad because, like, Prince of Persia, like, before microtransactions happened, you know, you could just release like one and done game, like a 6-hour, 10-hour game, and that could have made, you know, that could have turned a profit. Now everything has to be a live service, always online, microtransactions up the wazoo. Oh my god, game development is so expensive. Oh my god. Honestly, like, I really don't think, like, even as like a Prince of Persia fan, it's like, how do you, like, you have to sell like what, 33 million copies? Like, let's do the math, right? Let's say they sell it for $60. We're gonna get some math here. All right, let's say it has a conservative estimate of like $100 million. So you need to sell like 100 million, so 60 times 1 is okay, 60, so you need 60 million for, like, let's say 1 million copies sold, but in actuality you don't really get that much. I think most people, like, you net around like 60% of that, so maybe get like 40%. Let's say 40 million. Say 40 million. So you need 2 million to get 80 million. You need at least like 3 million copies sold just to break even, right? And like, if you don't do better than like 10% year over year growth, investors are looking at you like, why do we invest in you when we can invest in the stock market and make better income? So you need to sell basically like 3 million copies at launch, right? The first 2-3 months. This is without any microtransactions, right? Like, if they did actually add some microtransactions, maybe they could have got some skins. But Prince of Persia as a concept, it's pretty hard. Like, the remake itself would have been hard to like add microtransactions in it, like maybe for some clothes, maybe for like some just aesthetic things. But yeah, like, that would be pretty hard. Also, like, here's also an idea just for some game companies I don't really know. You know, there's more you can do besides like the character costumes, right? Like, why don't we have like a snow level in maybe Prince of Persia? I know it's kind of a little out there, but maybe like, there's something that changes the entire world. Like, oh, maybe it kind of has Christmas lights for the Christmas event. That'd be kind of cool. Maybe add that for microtransactions. Just an idea, just a thought. I think that'd be actually really cool. Like, maybe a Call of Duty map can have like a tropical vibe, you know, even though normally it doesn't have it. Maybe that can be like a microtransaction. Or maybe like for like, I know like games kind of already do this, but yeah. Also, thank you for bots for infecting my stream. Get the fuck out of here. Not wanted. But yeah, that's another idea out of microtransactions. Just a thought. I know characters tend to be like the easiest because it's just like one character, whereas a world to do is harder, but you can charge more money for that. Just saying, you know, if you guys want to get, you know, make more money, it could be an idea. Like a call, like a do like a, let's say like I would love, like, I only play Call of Duty, but I play like my biggest multiplayer game was Halo. Oh, I would love it if like the map at like Lockout, which I think I spent most, like, oh, sorry, not Lockout, Guardian. Like, if Guardian had like a snowy vibe one day, maybe like had like a sandy vibe another day, or maybe it had like a tropical vibe, like, that would be fucking cool. I would totally buy all versions of that, you know. And like, and if the other players don't have the same versions as me, we're still playing together. That's like an actual cool idea. I would 100% be down for that. I don't know why. Like, come on, give me an idea. Come on, give me an idea, Microsoft. Talk to me. Come and talk to me, please. We'll make some money out of this.
That treat people's lives as collateral damage and art as disposable content. I'm not the only person that this decision affects. And it's a really sad thing to see the aversion to risk in the entertainment industry. It snuffs out the audience's opportunity to experience fresh creative ventures, to respond to something daring, because we've just assumed their disinterest before they've even had the opportunity to react for themselves. And at times like these, it feels like
The fact that like she's doing this all is just saying like, hey, we made this art. It's possible it can be finished. We can release it, and like they just canceled it. Like, come on. What do South Asian people have to look forward to? The next Aladdin, which is not happening. Also, Aladdin's Arabic and not really Indian or South Asian, but you know, the original Aladdin craze, I had no idea. They kind of just lumped them all together.
marginalized stories are the first to be cut because they're deemed non-essential.
I'm gonna disagree on marginalized stories. Like as a Prince of Persia, like I'm just gonna say, as a Prince of Persia fan, Lost Crown faltering in sales probably hurt this game. I'm just just saying, you know, like I obviously don't think it should have been canceled. I fucking have the wait, it's not there. Oh, okay. A Prince of Persia copy somewhere there, but like. Yeah, marginalized people getting cut is always kind of like the easiest job. The easiest projects that always get cut. It's really sad. But yeah, Lost Crown's faltering in sales did not help. Also, like Rogue Prince of Persia came out too, right? I think that sold decently enough. I think they have like $10. Honestly, it wasn't that much. But like, come on, there's more market. Also, the game broke 2 million copies. It was one of the good games by Ubisoft. Like, come on, like they could have kept it. They could have kept it going. But to assume that like marginalized projects are the first to get cut, it's a bit different. I just think Prince of Persia as a franchise is kind of dead. Like it basically is a new IP.
It would become easy to become bitter in this situation, but the only result that would end up in is hurting myself and the people around me, because negativity is contagious. And on one hand, it feels silly for me to be hurting over this when we're seeing countless atrocities occurring every day around the world. In the grand scheme of things, I am okay. I am fine. But the truth is,
that's not really relevant. She doesn't have to bring up any atrocities. Like they are happening. It's true, but you have a job and you lost a job because like Ubisoft is just being dumb.
I'm grieving a huge part of my life, my past, what was my present, and what I thought was my future. And now I have to kind of figure out how to hold on to that grief without letting it change me for the worse. So I'm here to acknowledge that yes, projects getting shelved is part of the industry. Yes, it's crushing when it happens. Yes, the result disproportionately affects marginalized artists. And despite all that, I will keep going. I remember one of the reasons I started this journey is because I didn't see people that looked like me in the stories that I consumed growing up. And there's still a lot of work to do, but backing down and giving up would be accepting that the entertainment industry is incapable of making space for people like me. It would be bowing down to the barriers in place and saying, you win. It would demand choosing cynicism over hope. And now maybe that hope has become...
You know what the crazy thing about living in Canada? Guess what the second most dominant ethnicity is? It's not black people. It's not Asian people. It's Indian people. It's people who look like her. Like, they're basically the second most dominant. It's actually way more than Native Americans or Native Canadians or Indigenous Canadians. They're actually the most positive, the second most dominant ethnic group. Actually, let me Google that. And honestly, there should honestly be more like Indian, South Asian representation, especially in Canadian media, because there really isn't. Like the most famous South Asian is probably who was the NDP leader who resigned? Canadian ethnic. It's not black people. It's not. Yeah, any Americans watching, it's not black people. Ethnicity demographics. All right. It's damn 81% white. That is true. All right, so it's okay. Let me see the current. Okay, 2021 census. All right. So number one is visible minority. Yeah, so number one, South Asian. 2 million South Asian. Now, granted, this changed a lot. Oh, crap. So, like, there was a big immigration boom during the 2010s that, you know, it kind of had a lot of Indian people. A lot of them were temporary students, so maybe they don't really count in the census. Maybe they don't count as permanent residents or permanent citizens. But there was a lot of immigration in the 2010s that caused it. Personally, I don't get that much immigration because now my houses are super expensive and I can't afford it, and I can all afford is a shitty apartment. But Anyway, I'm not going to talk about what Trudeau did. Oh yeah, good for homeowners. Yeah, thank you. Now your $1 million homes are affordable for everyone. So yeah, now to get back all the old people, I'm just not gonna have any kids. And same with white people. So if white people are if any Nazi is complaining about white people dying out, just say everything's expensive and why you want kids. Fuck it. Anyway, that's what we're talking about. Let's talk about how South Asians are technically the second most dominant visible minority in Canada now. So it goes South Asian, and then Chinese, and then black. Damn, there's actually some black people here. I thought I was the only one. Yeah, I know. Don't worry. I felt like literally like I think I'm at to high school. I think I was in my grade. There was 5 black people, but I actually didn't. I wasn't really weirded out by that because like for me, like it's only weird if I'm the only minority. I just feel kind of weird. But there were enough Asians, South Asians, and Arabs to the point where I just kind of like, oh, whatever. I'm just another minority, but that's fine. Yeah, so they are technically the strongest or the strongest, the most dominant visible minority in this country. So as a result, in Canadian media, you'd kind of expect like more of that. And like, granted, Ubisoft is technically French from France, so maybe they don't really give a fuck. But Ubisoft Montreal is making it, so like maybe I expect them to like have a bit more South Asian representation in games. They don't really have that in their game library. They have like Far Cry 4 was in Nepal, which I guess, are they South Asian? Are they Asian? They literally look like the blending of Indian people and Chinese people in a blender, and that's what they look like. Like they don't really look full Chinese. They don't look like full Indian. They kind of look like a blender, which is kind of fine. Which is they're technically in the middle of those two countries. So yes. So Latin America, there is no Spanish people in our country, which is expected because South Asian is sorry, Mexicans are in the South. All right, so God, is there really no indigenous people in this country? Wow, that's sad. What's Southeast Asian? All right, so this is okay. We're getting a little off topic. Let's talk about Prince of Persia, but I do wonder why Chinese and Chinese and Japanese aren't technically in the same like. So technically Chinese, Japanese, and Korean aren't in the same. They might factor into it. Maybe they don't want to be included in the same one. That's how Canada does it. In America, race is very, very different. It's basically like white, black, Latino, and Asian, and and maybe Arab. But yeah. Anyway, let's talk about her.
Fused with defiance. This project existed, even if the world never got to see it. So many talented artists devoted countless hours of their lives to make this happen. And that doesn't just disappear. It'll be in our hearts forever, as freaking corny as that sounds. And this project taught me what I'm capable of. It showed me true joy, passion, kinship, artistry. Those things I'm going to keep with me forever. Those things will serve as the flame to keep me going. I don't know what's next. I'm currently unemployed on top.
I really, really want to see the prince, the main character, also do this video, because I think if he does it basically with the same NDA, like, yeah, I can't project canceled. I really was excited about it. I actually kind of hope it was the best thing. It spoke to me personally because I look like the characters. I also would have been happy to see that, but maybe he does. Maybe he does. Maybe it's a shout out to him. Hopefully he does make a video about it. That'd be really nice. Maybe they can actually get the game going again. Maybe they can, I don't know, maybe they can just like shelve it and then keep some of the scripts, because if all the voice acting is done, they can just finish the game, right? Like now it's not up to the actors, it's up to the developers, right? Like if the game is not up to quality, I don't think it would take more rewrites, or what's the word where they get back actors and have them redo things. Reshoots, yeah. So they can do some more reshoots if it's necessary. Now it's up to the developers to make it good. So we'll see if it happens, but again, the more we talk about this, the more it'll actually happen. So please keep talking about it.
Top of not having any acting jobs in the near future, I am leaving this apartment soon, and I am now starting from scratch with all this kind of blowing up recently. So I feel very lost, and it kind of feels like a lot of things are falling apart right now. But what I do know is that the most powerful thing that I can do is to continue to fight and continue to make my voice heard. So that's what I'm doing. So
Keep
here's
going,
my call to
girl.
action to you, if you're watching this. If this industry is built on risk aversion, then choosing to support artists like me is defiance. So be defiant.
Keep going. Keep going. I'll write a comment. Keep going, girl. You can do it. Ah, God. Oh, by the way, a little completely off topic. I feel really good. I had my ADHD medication, so I'm feeling pretty euphoric. I just wish, a little off topic, that I didn't have to wait months in this country to get it, and I'm feeling really happy. So, um, this is completely off topic. I might do a video about it. Maybe my dopamine's high. I really want to learn more about why I feel happier when I am on my ADHD medication. Specifically Ritalin XL, Ritalin IR, is instant release. I get a tad bit of euphoria. Good, like it's not like MDMA or like I fucking like turn into like I'm crying and everyone's like my best friend. But Ritalin IR is really good. I kind of hope it like remains that way. And but Ritalin IR like it lasts for like 3 hours, which is good now because it's 9 p.m. I have work in the morning, so maybe like being low energy at 12 would be good because the stream's not gonna go in. I'm probably gonna end the stream in probably like an hour, and then I'm gonna reload some upload some clips from it. So yeah, comment section's not the best. So sorry for you, man. So sorry for you, man, Greg. Yeah. Yep, it is not a good look. Man, why is my favorite series so underappreciated? Every game from it has like every game from it is always like it was good, but like not good enough to get sales. Like it's just like Rogue Prince of Persia was good. I didn't play. I think maybe I should honestly give it a shot. Lost Crown kind of was fucking tastic. Sands of Time. I know 2008 was hated. Prince of Persia 2008 was hated, but it was actually really good. Like it was the good art. Like I know it was easy. And there wasn't much like a lot of in terms of gameplay or challenge, but it was a good game overall. I'd say it was a positive. So, oh, okay. I want to talk to you about Kanye West. This is a little off topic. We're going to get into some gaming later, but we have to talk about a guy who, let's be honest, was on top of literally on top of the music world for basically ever. And he's honestly, heart to heart, I will say this. I will always say, I don't always defend it. He is the most interesting celebrity in the 21st century. Bar none, he is the most interesting person to follow, to watch. The things that come out of this man's mouth can literally make a whole TV show. He is the most interesting person ever to follow. Now, I said interesting. Is he a good person? Honestly, it comes in waves. Like early Kanye, I think genuinely was like a more humble, quotation marks because he wasn't that humble, but he was generally cared about the things he generally fought for the things he cared about. Like he actually had beliefs. He actually had kind of conviction in what he actually had a bit of humility. Like if he made a mistake, he would apologize for it. Now in the 2020s, he is fucking insane. He has let his mental health get completely out of hand. He has now just he literally became a Nazi and released a Hail Hitler song. So I think he legitimately just become a different person. I think a lot of it, how it happened? It's because he became a billionaire. I legitimately believe that like once you become a billionaire, your mind goes fucking crazy. I don't think there are any like sane billionaires. I think they're all secretly evil. They don't give a fuck about anyone but themselves. They're all like doomsday prepping. They're all like weak. They all think of themselves as like gods above men. I legitimately feel like they don't give a fuck about anyone but themselves. This is why like this is this is why they're all a lot of them are in politics. A lot of them have like a lot of them are on Epstein Island. Yeah, a lot of them probably were on Epstein Island. A lot of them just have like these weird fixations on certain things. Like Elon Musk is trying to have like 20 kids. Which, hey, you know what? I have to be honest. If I was rich as him, I would also have like 20 fucking kids. I really hope one day, if I ever make it in music or maybe YouTube or something, I will have a lot of kids. I promise. If I make $1 million a year, I am having kids. I will stop taking my estrogen and I'll get back on. I'll let my sperm recover. You're not yeah, we're not talking about it. Non-binary life. But for now. Anyway, talking about Kanye West. We're gonna look at that. Okay, let's see. Let's see his apology. I will have to read it. Because he was where is the freaking please let me see Vanity Fair. Oh my god, just let me I don't care about your stupid article. I care about the apology. His apology is fine, but we're still left with Candace Owens and Nick Fuentes. Where is I want the original. I want the original thing. Where can I not? Okay, this is it. All right, to those I've heard. So we're gonna go through everything. 25 years ago, I was in a car accident that broke my jaw and caused injury to the right frontal lobe of my brain. At the time, the focus was on the visible damage, the fracture, the swelling, and the immediate physical trauma. The deeper injury, the one inside my skull, went unnoticed. Now, this is a true fact. He was injured in a pretty vicious car accident that kind of broke his jaw. In fact, he even recorded a song under that. I think the song was "Through the Wire." I might be mistaken on that. So he recorded that whole song. That song was actually pretty good, and you could almost tell his jaw was wired shut. So I think he like basically just he had to speak like this the whole time. But you can kind of hear it if you pay attention to it. But he actually did record a song under it, and the song was pretty good. Comprehensive scans were not done. Neurologic exams were limited, and the possibility of frontal lobe injury was never raised. It wasn't properly diagnosed until 2023. That's okay, kind of crazy. Kind of on Kanye's fault. And Kanye, wait. One thing I don't understand though, okay, I'm gonna call it Kanye on this one, but like we know you were mentally ill in like 2016. You openly admitted you had bipolar disorder in like the early, like late 2010s, and yet you still didn't do anything. I think honestly feel like blaming it on your car accident from 25 years ago is a little bit of a cop out. Like we know you were mentally unwell in the 2010s, right? Like the reason I'm giving a bit of credit to not a credit, what I'm saying, I'm like the reason I'm saying he's not a true anti-Semite neo-Nazi is because we know he was mentally unwell. Like we knew in the 2010s that I'm bipolar, so that I have like depression. Like we know like mentally he was never unwell. Like neo-Nazis, he's not ideologically like pure neo-Nazi, you know, like he said some things like Jews control the world in 2010s, which like he honestly took it says he said as a compliment. But I never thought like Kanye as someone who like genuinely hates Jews. No, I never thought. I always thought of someone who just like was like, all right, I'm mentally unwell. I'm also a fucking billionaire, so no one can tell me to shut the fuck up. I can do whatever I want. Let me just go after Jews because it's the easiest thing in the world to do. And like yeah. So like he went after Jews, and then he just doubled down, and then he ended up where he was. But I think it's a fucking cop out that right now he is essentially saying, "I went IDXL 2023. You were mentally unwell in the 2010s at least." That medical oversight caused serious damage to my mental health and led to my bipolar 1 diagnosis. Bipolar comes with its own defense system, denial. When you're manic, you don't think you're sick, you think everyone else is overreacting, you feel like you're seeing the world more clearly than ever, when in reality, you're losing your grip entirely. I agree. I had a parent who had bipolar disorder. Did not go well. Thankfully, she was not a billionaire, and thankfully we helped her out with it. But it wasn't a fun time. It wasn't also a very clear time. She just said random things without any train of thought. It was actually a bit more obvious that she was mentally unwell, and she kind of didn't know about it. But it was a difficult time. Once people label you as crazy, you feel as you cannot contribute anything meaningful to the world. These are for people to joke and laugh it off when this is not very serious debilitating disease. You can die from. According to World Health Organization and Cambridge University, people with bipolar disorder have a life expectancy that is shortened by 10 to 15 years on average. Two times 3 higher all-cause mortality rate than the general population. This is on par with severe heart disease, type 1 diabetes, H1 cancer, and all lethal and fatal if left untreated. I have to say, this might be completely AI generated or like written by his publicist. Like, Kanye doesn't really talk like this, like says facts and stuff. It's definitely someone who like wants a really like sympathetic tone in it. Like it might be AI driven, who knows. But whatever, like it's a fucking letter, right? Like it's obviously gonna be reviewed by someone, so obviously they're gonna like edit it and shit. The scariest thing about this story is how persuasive it is when it tells you don't need help, it makes you blind, but convinced you have insight, you feel powerful, certain, and unstoppable. It also probably helps that you're a fucking billionaire. Now, granted, he probably isn't a billionaire for all the shit he said. He probably everyone cut ties with him financially, so but he is still way too powerful with a freaking manic brain going on. I lost touch with reality, things got worse the longer I ignored the problem. I said and did things I deeply regret. Some people I loved the most, I treated the worst. You endured fear, confusion, humiliation, and the exhaustion of trying to love someone who was at times unrecognizable. Looking back, I became a detached from my true self. Honestly, I don't know what Kanye's true self is, right? Like, my favorite era of Kanye West was in the early 2000s or late 2000s. I think that was when he, like, not only made the best music, but also he kind of was at least a bit humbler and a bit more realistic about, the things he could do and we can do. After the famous Taylor Swift incident, he apologized and pretty profusely apologized when Ellen DeGeneres had an apology. That was pretty. That came off as pretty sincere. And then, of course, went off to make one of my favorite albums of his. And then I kind of went out, had another strong musical career, said a few things that were weird, like, oh, they said black people and slaves. How, like, what was that called? It was like, black people in slavery sounds like a choice or something like that. That was insane. But he's also black, so it was also like maybe every white person was like, I don't know whether to be offended by this or whether just to let black people handle it. Everyone fucking criticized it as hell. And then also say like Jews run the world. He literally so this was the funniest thing. That's when I know he's like not really anti-Semitic. He took that as a compliment. Like, yeah, Jews run the world. They run the bank system. And everyone was like, oh shit, I just can't admit that. I just can't say Jews run the world. Oh no. Do I think Jews run the world? No. I do think Jews will just Jews. Hopefully this doesn't come across as anti-Semitic, but like Jews will joke about how they run Hollywood. But like if I say that, suddenly it's anti-Semitic. I won't say that. I obviously won't say that. But if Jews can say they run like the Hollywood industry, can black people say they made the American music industry? Because that's also like true, right? Like when you look at all American music, it's all influenced by black people. So I'm just gonna say black people run the music industry, and let's see anyone comments on that. But whatever. Like if Jews like want to like say like, oh, they're good with money, like, yeah, fair play, good to you. I go on Grindr and I see on BBC, I see a bunch of black guys saying BBC, and I'm like, all right, fair play to them. It's their stereotype. Let them have it. I'm not saying anything. But yeah, where were we gonna say it? Where are we gonna things scary, sort of persuasive as also to reality things the problem. In that fractured state, I gravitated towards the most destructive symbol I could find, the swastika, and even sold t-shirts bearing it. One of the difficult aspects of having bipolar 1 are the disconnected moments, many of which I still cannot recall, that led to poor judgment and reckless behavior. That oftentimes feel like an out-of-body experience. I regret and am deeply mortified by my actions in that state and committed to accountability, treatment, and meaningful change. It does not excuse what I did, though I am not a Nazi nor an anti-Semite. I love Jewish people. To the black community, oh boy, Kanye, what do you have for us? What do you have for us? Which the black people, which held me down through all the highs and all the lows and all the darkest times. The black community is unquestionably the foundation of who I am. I'm so sorry to have let you down. I love us. It's so weird. Okay, so like, you know how I said Kanye West was like a better person in the early 2000s? I guess his first big controversy was he went on that like TV show right beside, I can't remember the actor's name, and then it was about Hurricane Katrina, and then he literally said George Bush doesn't care about black people. And like he said that with a bit of fear in his heart. He didn't say it like with the 2025 confidence, 2025 confidence that Kanye had. He said it with the 2004 like, I'm a little nervous, hoping I don't get in trouble. He said that and meant it. Now, granted, everyone kind of clowned on him, but like I think there really wasn't enough outcry or enough help from the federal government on Hurricane Katrina at the time. But that was a true fact. He did care about the black community a bit more than a bit more than now. In early 2025, I fell into a 4-month-long manic episode of psychotic, paranoid, and impulsive behavior that destroyed my life. As the situation became increasingly unsustainable, there were times I didn't want to be here anymore. If bipolar is not a state of constant mental illness, when you go into a manic episode, you are ill at that point. When you're not in an episode, you're completely normal. And that's when the wreckage from the illness hits the hardest. Hitting rock bottom a few months ago, my wife encouraged me to finally get help. Okay, Kanye, we've been encouraging you. I think your wife has been encouraging you to get help for years now. Absolute years. And now you get it. Well, I guess it only happened now because you actually did hit rock bottom, and I guess everyone's already hate you. I found comfort in Reddit forums. Oh my god. I fucking okay. I should have predicted this earlier. The only reason Nazis in general, Nazism, anti-Semitism, and just white nationalism getting popular is because of the internet. The internet, let me say, has gone way more racist, way more like right wing, in kind of like a gross way. And honestly, it's like a part of it is probably like Trump attracting that kind of crowd, especially with like someone like Stephen Miller, like someone who's openly, like not openly, like was literally caught on like white nationalist sites. And of course, by the rhetoric with what they're using, a lot of white nationalists are getting happy. So yeah, there's just way more like, I should say racism, just white nationalists, and like a lot of like gross things are getting more popular. Also anti-Semitism for sure. Where is it coming from? Honestly, like anti-Semitism is coming from a whole bunch of fucking places. Different people speak on being manic. It's coming from well, for some reason, people will just claim that any criticism of Israel is anti-Semitism, which I think is a little ridiculous. Criticism of Israel does not equate to criticism of Israel does not equate to criticism of Jews. That's fucking insane. I don't know how many times I have to say that, but if you criticize Israel for later committing a genocide, I feel like that's fucking crazy. You can criticize anyone for committing a genocide. I don't care what their ethnicity is, and I don't care about their history or their historical. Oh, we've been historically persecuted against. Doesn't matter. You don't commit. Never again means never again. So, like that's also insane. So, different people speak of being in manic or depressed episodes of life similar in nature. I read their stories and I was not alone. It's not just me who ruins their day, ruins their entire life once a year, despite taking meds every day, being held by the so-called best doctors in the world that are not bipolar, by merely experiencing symptoms of autism. My words as a leader in my community have global impact and influence. In my mania, I lost complete sight of that. As I find a new baseline, new center through effective regime, medication therapy, and exercise and clean living, I have newfound much needed clarity. I am pouring my energy into positive, meaningful art, music, clothing, design, and other new ideas to help the world. All right, I'm calling it right now. He's become a pastor. He's going to start preaching the word of God, saying God helped him when he was at his lowest. Therefore, I want to spread the word of God to everyone and everyone. I am just certain this is the part where he becomes a freaking like church minister and starts going to like black churches and starts singing the praise of God. Like this is basically what everyone does after a mental level. So especially very like religious people who Kanye, despite the fact that he's honestly a pretty narcissistic, ego-driven person, does believe in God, which is kind of surprising because I literally feel like most billionaires don't. They probably think of themselves as the God, as like sorry, as their only God, and maybe their contemporaries. But yeah, he actually is a pretty religious guy. Quotation marks because like how much can you believe in God when you're that when you're that rich and successful? But yeah, I'm not asking for sympathy or free pass, though I aspire to earn your forgiveness. I write today simply to ask for your patience, understanding as I find my way home. With love, yay. All right. So how much you guys want to bet that it goes on anti-Semitic tirade in the next year or two? Are we $100, $100? What are the odds? All right. Really want to know what the odds are because he has apologized. Remember, he apologized once in 2022 or in 2023 or something, and then just completely was like, fuck it, I'm back to being anti-Semite. What are the odds? Kanye. An anti-Semite. I really want to know what the odds are. Um, what is? Hold on. There must be like a bet going on like betting sites. I don't know what the odds are. It must be something like I like maybe he's done for. It really depends on how he acts for the next little while, right? Like if he just kind of keeps his head down and just goes back to making music, maybe he like okay. So here's the thing. I will say he. I will say that if he has more public outings with his family, I think maybe he's done with the anti-Semitism. I think if he goes back to like, I think he's musically he's kind of done. Like he's the music sucks now. Like even the his most famous album, the most recent album in 2021, which is kind of okay for me. Like I think it's kind of like to the point where he just doesn't know how to make great music anymore. He's kind of just making decent music, or just kind of like okay, like in my opinion, the last album I really liked out of him was Kid See Ghost, but that was mostly Kid Cudi, or at least it was like original. 2016 Life of Pablo was kind of okay. Uses was probably the most interesting thing he did. He needs like he needs something. He needs like some kind of public outing or positive public outing, whether it's music, whether it's clothes. I think that's the best thing to do is just make another banger album. But like, will he do it? Probably not. I kind of don't predict much happening of that. So it's funny how this literally it's funny how like this literally all this happened. I just saw an article. But Kanye is honestly one of the most interesting people to talk about in the 21st century. I've always said he's like the most interesting person to follow because he's always doing something crazy, right? He's always doing something like, oh shit, like no one's ever gonna say that, or no one's ever gonna like follow him after. And yeah, genuinely, like, can you name a more interesting celebrity? Like who says controversial shit and then keeps going after on and on and on again? Like, not many people can do that. So yeah, and genuinely does make good music, and sorry, genuinely does make good art. So yeah, I am yeah, I'm pretty. Uh, I hope he gets well. I hope he gets well. I hope he starts making some better music. What do I want to watch? All right, so I want to. What do I want to do? Should I just play Hitman? I got like 10:30. I got some time on my hands. Hold on, let me just check my phone. Oh yeah, the High Guard review, guys. Should we look at High Guard review? Oh wait, hold on. So now that I should keep my segments a little consistent. Oh, so all of season 2 is already happening. Damn, I did not know that. All right. I do want to play some High Guard. High Guard. I am not playing High Guard because it did not run on my computer, and I don't really want to fuck around with my fuck around with my BIOS settings. So we're probably just gonna put some Hitman. I have hmm hmm. I might just end the stream here. It's been an hour and 13. We could play some Prince of Persia. Honestly, hold on. Exercise scientist critiques Lenny Kravitz's unbelievable longevity routine. I also wonder what this guy does at his age because he looks fantastic. He's always looked good for basically his age or his entire life, which I think is a better point. Like it's easier to maintain a natural physique forever if you're able to with like his consistent diet than you are just to kind of like start off like 80 and or like 60 and overweight and then get to this level. A lot of it is kind of genetics, but also a part of it is honestly just kind of like he's been keeping consistent for basically ever. So yes. I kind of want to just work on a new YouTube video. Okay, so the reason I don't want to do the Hitman thing is because I do want to end the stream and upload a short or YouTube video before I go to bed. And it is 10:30. I also do like talking, so maybe we can do it here. I'll do like maybe like one more segment maybe about Kanye West. What should I talk about? Oh my god, this Batista and The Rock. You know what? I do want to see Resident Evil Requiem. You know, this would be a fantastic time to do like a Resident Evil like marathon before it comes out because okay guys, I have to be honest, horror games aren't really my thing. I only really play them if someone tells me they're actually secretly an action game, then I'm all for them. Then I'll play them. If it's like Resident Evil 4, absolutely I'll play them. Resident Evil Requiem release dates. Okay, it comes out in a month. Yeah, actually exactly in a month from time. All right. I should maybe on stream we'll do a marathon of Resident Evil 4, Resident Evil 7 and then Resident Evil 8 because that's actually would be kind of fun. Maybe we can play the new one that comes out. So I'm kind of excited. So hold on, Resident Evil Requiem. The Resident Evil game was launched July 20, directed by Cody, returning from Resident Evil 7. Biohazard Requiem was unveiled at Capcom Summer Game Fest 2025 that June. It commemorates the series' 30th anniversary, returns to the overarching narrative between raccoons to the incident and the activities of Umbrella Corp last seen in Resident Evil 6. Requiem was scheduled for release in Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 5, okay, Xbox Series X and X, okay. Oh, coming out for Switch, that's actually pretty impressive. I might do a Requiem stream. It might be kind of cool. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna...
With the triumphant return of Leon Kennedy, Resident Evil Requiem...
Did they make him look old? I think that was where I talked about it. It made him look older?
With the triumphant return of Leon Kennedy...
Damn, that's bold. They actually aged the motherfucker. Wow, respect. Yeah, you know what's funny though? That like Leon and Dante now look exactly the same. Like they did kind of just look like literally the same face and just change a few things from it. But yeah, they're looking really identical now.
Kennedy, Resident Evil Requiem is forced to straddle an awkward line between all-out action and methodical survival horror. I'll be honest, before getting my hands on the game and seeing the transition in action, I was extremely skeptical that Capcom would be able to create a coherent experience involving both Leon and Grace, the latest highly vulnerable protagonist.
You know, it's getting hard for me to like play Resident Evil games because they're all kind of getting this. Oh, I say they're all kind of getting the same, but I really don't play horror games. But I think Resident Evil 7 was fantastic, and then I played Resident Evil 4 Remake and was like, this is good. But this just looks like a combination of both those games. And yeah, personally, at this point, maybe it's all in the story. Like, Also, like, I think I'm more interested in her because she's at least a new character and at least more interesting.
Hey, over here.
The switching between their polar opposite styles sounds jarring, which is almost never a good thing. And although it's been a while, it's not like we haven't been burned by Capcom's desire to push the series towards action before. But I'm pleased.
Resident Evil works best when it's a horror game. I'll just say it. I wonder whether they're gonna go. Is there any open world horror games? Is just open world and horror games not actually like mix well together? You know, like Elden Ring was not really a horror game, but like there were moments where it got scary, mostly because the enemies just gave off horror vibes, and obviously they were really strong. So you also were really scared. You didn't want to like lose like your souls, so you were kind of like really tense and like, okay, I have to find a grace quickly, which is probably the most horror thing in Elden Ring. But yeah, I really don't think open world horror games really work in a sense. I think like the biggest fear in an open world game is really losing progress. So like, yeah, not running into a site of grace does fill me with horror. Also gives me with annoyance too. You lose a lot of time if you fail to get it.
Pleased to share that from my all too brief 3 hours of hands-on time with Resident Evil Requiem, not only does this design really work, but there's also a lot more going on than just a merging of Resident Evil's greatest hits.
That's too effective.
My playtime started with a short test drive of Leon, and Resident Evil 4 muscle memory kicked in immediately. Make no mistake, this plays just.
Alright guys, it is 10:30. Do I want to play? I should be ADD. I should pick a decision. Okay, so I'm not installing this piece of crap. But I am probably going to end the stream right here. I'm gonna upload some new YouTube videos, so hopefully the segments come out. But yeah. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys like the new light setup. I made it brighter. Did my background not actually get anything? Wow. Well, it's okay. Anyway, ciao. See ya.